Wild Robot is so good. It is so good. We're gonna talk about the Wild Robot. I'm gonna grade it like the Joker one. Nah, I'll tell you after. Hold on one sec. Okay. Just excuse me one sec. I gotta give like a name to the audience, I think. I think I'm gonna give you guys a name. Sip and chatter. If I ever call my fans sip and chatters, first of all, I don't have any fans. No one watches these. Second of all, if I ever do that, you guys have permission to cancel me. Do not let me do that. You know, I always drink out of like a mug or like a glass, but we're going can because this movie made me feel like a kid in the best way possible. Wild Robot. First of all, we gotta talk about movies are weird. In the span of literally less than a month, I have seen, God, so many movies. I have seen Wild Robot, Joker 2, Terrifier 3, The Substance, and an indie project named Look Back. And genuinely, this goes like at one of the top, like for sure. This movie is amazing. And this is a movie that, unlike a lot of Disney or Dreamworks projects, it is a movie that parents take their kids to and not necessarily kids take their parents to. At a lot of times, a lot of like the Dreamworks projects, like for example, my all-time fave is How to Train Your Dragon. Hell, I named my cat Toothless. Like, I love How to Train Your Dragon. I love the trilogy. I love everything that they've done with it. But that in and of itself is a kid's film. It's marketed towards children. It is for a younger audience. Going back to How to Train Your Dragon, it's a movie that's like, you know, about dragons and these kids, and Hiccup and Astrid and all of the squad really look like children. And they kind of grow into themselves. Eventually, Hiccup and Astrid have kids, like all that stuff. But like, it's hard to like get into that or buy into that vision as like they're growing older. But regardless, it's marketed towards children. It is for kids. Wow, that first sip really screwed me, guys. In its own right, it's a kid's movie. The Wild Robot, though, this is a movie about a robot learning to be a parent, learning to be a functioning member of society or their society. And the most important thing about being a parent, it learns how to let go. Roz is the name of this robot, and throughout this movie, Roz becomes not just a machine with functions and binary and ones and zeros, but a mother with emotions. And it's beautiful. It's so cool. This robot learns how to feel, learns how to let go, and it's not a spoiler in the trailer, a mother to the goose, to this baby goose that learns to fly. I genuinely think that this will make parents cry twice. It has this like so many intense images throughout this movie. This cute, fun movie about a goose is also a very mortal movie about death. There's so many moments in this thing where death is like the main point of conversation. At one point, there's like a character who's a mom talking about her kids, and she's like, yeah, I got like 7 of my own. And you, like, her kid dies off screen, but she's like, now 6. With a smile. I was like, what are we doing? It was crazy how like real death was in this. It is so intense. Like, I remember as a kid, my mom would do like this daycare thing. Like, she would like watch Neighborhood Children or whatever. And like, whenever me and my brothers would get home from school, we'd love to play video games. But like, we were not allowed to say die, kill, dead, slain, anything like that. Sure as hell couldn't play any violent video games without like the door being closed, volume off situation. So we ended up just playing like Donkey Kong. But that's like beside the point. This movie breaks all of my mom's rules. It talks about death, baby animals die, mothers die, and this movie doesn't hold back any punches about Mother Nature at all. And it's wild. And that makes this movie so good. I think, honestly, that's what keeps Dreamworks, especially right now, ahead of Disney in animated films. I mean, take Puss in Boots' Last Wish, right? Like, literally has a character named Death in it, has a full-on panic attack scene in it. I believe that the crystals representing Boots' life, and I could be wrong about this, but I believe those are like, or Puss's life, I should say. I believe those are the 7 deadly sins. I could be wrong about that, but I think so. And then like Shrek is like Shrek. How to Train Your Dragon has parental things, but ends with a goodbye to his best friend, like letting go. And it's not scared to have that. It's not scared to like change the dynamic of it. And this movie is really no different. I think the moment I saw the credits roll, I realized this is gonna be cherished as a classic. For sure it's going on my shelf when it comes out. It's just so good. So let's talk about a few things that make it so good. The colors are stunning and beautiful. I don't really know of any other animated film that captures the wonders of nature and earth like this film does. It's astounding how many different seasons are also in this thing, whether Roz is just like sitting down for a long time and seasons are passing by all around her, or seasons are actively changing throughout. But the different tones of color, the different music decisions, sound effect, all incorporate seasons so well. The winter feels dark and sad, the summer feels warm and happy, the fall feels like time for change, time for migration. I'm truly in awe of these animators. So yeah, let's talk also about the characters. Fink the Fox, Pedro Pascal, my opinion, could be a bit of a stretch. I genuinely think Fink the Fox carries this movie. He is insane, and I know it's a dangerous statement to say, but he was my favorite character. From the moment I saw him enter the scene, he was my favorite. But I also think it proves something else to say that he was my favorite, given that he wasn't the main character. He was obviously a main character, but I think it proves that no character is wasted. Every single character has their own arc, development. The Elder Goose has a satisfying arc. Bright Bill learned to fly. The Beaver was hard at work cutting that tree. Kid Connor's Bright Bill, great character arc, playing the main character. Roz, I could literally say so much about this robot. No character was a waste. Truly, it was amazing through and through. And I think that's what takes this movie to the next level. The music in this thing is superb. Specifically, the songs by Marine Morris, one of the two. Kiss the Sky and Even When I'm Not are used to their fullest potential. There's times in plays or in films that I genuinely feel that the music could have been used in a different scene or at a different time, or could have been used more. That is not the case here. Both songs are emotional, they're impactful, they weigh heavy, and when they hit, they hit. It's so good. And the emotional impact of these tracks is, again, it's nothing short of great. Going along with the music, the composition of Chris Bowers is also insane. He is a phenomenal pianist, composer, and he outdoes himself in this thing. And he added so much weight to this movie. Going back to the seasons, the winter, there's a lot of like heavier and minor tones, and the summer is a lot lighter but still full. And it was so good. Just to go into the story a bit as well, keeping it going here, I talked about the story a little bit, but the story is pretty simple. It's a robot that is learning to feel and be a mother to a goose that is going to migrate. That's it. The moment we catch Roz on the scene, her whole purpose is, you give me something to do, you give me a task, and I'll do it. And she learns pretty quickly that the task of being a mom is not one to just do. It's not a function, it's not binary, it's not just a list of ones and zeros. And I think this movie captures that. When Fink is like explaining to her, this is what you need to do. You need to teach this goose how to swim, how to fly, and I think there's one more. It was swim, fly. The swimming portion, right? It's only what's in Roz's programming, which is like human swimming, which is obviously different for geese, naturally. But she tries so hard. And to fly, she tries so hard. And I think using this imagery of Bright Bill being like a runt, right? Bright Bill was never supposed to make it. They talk about that a lot. Bright Bill is not gonna make it. Yet, not only does the head goose believe in him, the eagle believes in him, Fink chooses to believe in him, and most importantly, Roz backs him. And then you just get this awesome dynamic of instead of predator versus prey or Mother Nature fighting the goose's chance of survival, you actually get this really cool dynamic of everyone working together. And I think they do it amazing. A lot of subplots in this too. It wasn't boring. It kept moving. And I think going into this, I saw the trailer and I remember seeing the goose fly away. And I thought to myself, Dreamworks, why are you telling me the ending? Like, I know he's gonna fly away. And that was already emotional in the trailer. I was like, oh, he's flying away. And that was about it, right? Like, okay, cool. He flies away, he moves on. And the movie still goes. It still keeps going, and it still holds a really cool plot. Roz finds out more about herself. The goose finds out more about the humans. It still continues, and I think this dynamic, like I said, kind of pulling off of Zootopia a little bit, but prey versus predator. You have the fox saying that he would just eat all the geese or eat the eggs and that kind of stuff, and the bear saying that he would eat the fox, like a lot of that kind of stuff. But as you kind of like develop into this story, you start to realize that the morality of death and predator versus prey and all of those things are kind of challenged. I think specifically, again, not to get into spoilers, but specifically like the winter season, right? There's like a big campfire, which is pretty cool, like scene of getting all these animals together at this campfire, and there's like a bit of a brawl that breaks out, a bit of a fight, and the whole idea is pretty quickly that Fink and Roz need to stop these animals from fighting each other to extinction, and that's exactly what they do. They talk, they address, they move on, and it's really cool how they do that. There's this other plot that I was so nervous was going to feel unnecessary, and that's the plot of the humans, right? And wanting to get Roz back, other robots trying to get Roz back, that kind of stuff. In the trailer, you hear that quote that's like, "You're a robot, you were never meant to feel anything." I was so nervous that this like little one-liner or this plot wouldn't work, because when you have so much about morality, and then you have so much about paternity and maternity, or whatever, which one it is, but you have so much about parental imagery and morality and like death, where does like this fantastical kind of like Wall-E type thing fit? But to my shock and to my surprise, it fit well. I think it fit super well into the grand scheme of things. It did feel like it was targeted towards kids in the audience. That did feel more like the, oh, parents, you could bring your kids to this because see, it's like a big battle. It's like a little fight. And that kind of felt like childish of like, oh, we need to have a villain. Whereas I think this movie could have worked, in my opinion, without a villain. I don't think it was necessary. But because they chose to have one in to target the children, or forever which reason they chose to, I think it worked. And then at the end of the film, they tied it all together in a really cool way. And I think all of that worked together, and all the different robots, you know, it set Roz apart from all of them. So yeah, I liked that too. So overall, I'm gonna grade it. This movie, in my opinion, A+. Woo! Best score out there. Best grade I could do. A+, best grade. Woo! Here, I'll talk from this side, cause look at the massive poster I have of the Goose movie, of Wild Robot. Big old poster right there. Yup, this movie is insane. Just to let you know, if you haven't seen it, you are doing yourself a disservice. This will be a classic, and it is worth every minute of your time. And if you have seen it, buy it when it comes out. Go see it again. Take every family member you know to see it. And that's how I feel about this movie. Now to get into a little bit deeper stuff and something that's a little bit more meta. Let's talk about how this video started. I walked through that door. Guess what, guys? Don't believe what you see. I am lying to you. I'm a liar. None of this is real. Do not believe any of it. Everything that goes on here, fake. The only thing that's real is is the words. You could like close the video and just listen to the words. That's all you need. Because how the hell would the computer have been on before I walked into the room? I obviously had to record it somehow. So you're dumb if you believe that. Second of all, this record player is never even on. Look at this. This it's like, it just spins. It like, that's it. It's just spinning. Okay, so stop Stop thinking that like I'm breaking all the records or whatever. It's not on. Don't believe that.
I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
This is a green screen. This not real either. That's all. Editor, play that clip at the very beginning when I was like, oh, you know, it'd be a cool intro. Here, play that here. You know, it'd be so cool. Yo, I'm gonna do like a dynamic entrance. I'm gonna like bust through the door. Hold on. Yo, editor, this is gonna be so cool. Watch this. Bam, see? Told you. None of this is real at all. And you're a fool if you believed it. Anyways, Wild Robot is real, and it's cool, and it's awesome, and you need to go see it. A+ movie. Okay, bye. Also subscribe, and if you subscribe, if I hit 10,000 subs, and I'll shave my head. And I've seen comments about me balding, and I am, so shut up. My hairline is going away, but don't care. 10,000 subs, I'll shave it all. Yep, done. 10K, here we go. Okay, bye.